Ready?
Yeah. Because what if there's like a 7-second delay or something? Like this is 5 minutes.
Yes.
We'll see them. Hello. All right. So the link is live. I guess if anyone sees this, if you're popping in, say hello. This is our first time doing this on YouTube. So do let us know if you can hear me, if you can't hear me. And I don't even know when people pop into the chat. So as soon as you pop into the chat, let me know. And then we can get started.
Jenny is saying hello.
Hello.
And it shows up here.
Oh my
Great.
gosh, hi.
So we can see that.
This is my first time doing a YouTube live, so I'm not as familiar with the configurations of things, but do let me know if you can hear my voice, and do let me know if you can hear the music. Ryan is going to try and adjust things, and if we can't get the music to play through this device, we will just use another device to play the music. But just let me know if you can hear both me and the music. But the music is very soft right now, right? So maybe you can like go to a boppin' song. Go to a song in the middle of the playlist.
See.
Like that. That would be good. Or, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And I did say the class is at 5, but we'll probably have like a 5-minute chat before we get into the class. Maybe this song isn't as boppin'. How about like this one? Yeah, that's pretty fun.
So Jenny says that she can hear the music.
You can hear the music, Jenny? Oh my gosh, you're our little guinea pig here. Thank you, Jenny. I'm so excited. I can hear you and the music just fine. Brilliant. All right, now if Ryan turns up the music for me, is that gonna get too loud?
Might.
So maybe just turn up the whole volume of the computer, or is it on its max?
So say that again.
So is the computer's volume at its max? Because if you can max the computer, then the Spotify, like, is the music input?
It's gonna drown you out.
It's gonna drown me out if we put the Spotify to max. But if we keep the Spotify low and just max the computer, then I can hear the music, but it's not gonna blast them out.
No, it's just playing through the speakers right now.
It's just playing through the speakers right now. Okay, so this is why I was saying like with Zoom when you
I
share
don't know
audio.
how to do that.
Right.
So what they're hearing.
You made it! Yay, Katie! Oh my gosh, yay!
So what they're hearing is coming out of the speakers into the microphone.
Okay, so what I think might be best is, like you said, put it onto a different device.
Okay.
Like get my laptop instead of dueling laptops.
Okay.
And if we put it on my laptop, then it can be at a volume that if there's a song that's too loud, I can turn it down. Hopefully it's not too jarring. There might be a song or two that's a little bit louder that I might need to adjust. But anyways, we're just chilling here for a second while we get the music sorted. I'm tying up my base pace tights. I usually am wearing different tights, to be honest, but these are just, what was available in the laundry, and that's okay. Some days you just wear the black tights. That's it, Hello, Natalie. So excited to get my flow on. Yes, Jamil. Oh my gosh. When's the last time we did this? I taught my class on TikTok, and it was, I feel like maybe a couple months ago, because I was thinking of like launching a more regular kind of thing, and then I picked up classes at Bar 3 West Village, so then I wasn't able to have more of a regular at home teaching schedule, but I'm hoping to do this maybe once a month. Very exciting. And if you guys like it, let me know. I do have Venmo attached to this, so if you do have a means of paying for today, you can, and if not, doesn't matter. It's pay what you can. So I understand like everyone's at different stages of their lives, different financial stages, and that's okay. So whatever you can is great. Everybody, if you're coming into the chat, let me know you're here. Say hi. Ryan is just sorting out the music for me so that I can kind of play with the music a little bit. And then I can hear it as well as you, and it won't overpower my voice. That's the plan. And I think Ryan's gonna be able to get this as a replay. So if you don't get to see from the beginning of this and you want to watch it later or halfway through, you arrive and you want the first half of class, then hopefully it will still be available on YouTube with this link. So that's the plan.
Right. Let me just step out of the other room for 1 second.
Yeah, Ryan's testing the music. He's listening to this on his phone. But if anyone is in the chat right now and wants to let me know if you can hear both me and the music, let me know.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Sounds great? Okay, great. It's like you're with me. It's like you're really here, which I love. I love it. It's great. So, I feel like this is good. Just to let you know what we need for today, I just have my mat. If you have extra props that you like, you can have like a strap or yoga strap or blocks, but it's gonna be low key. So, you know, have them if you need them, but there's nothing like specifically that we'll need props for. But yeah, because it's 5:03, let's give it a couple more minutes. But Ryan is going to check as well that we got the email out to everybody who emailed just now, because we had some last minute emails, which is great. I can hear you both. Loving the playlist so far. Yay! We can hear you in the music perfectly. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so glad. This is going to be great. And if this is your first time doing yoga, take it as it comes. Modifying anything. If I throw something out there and you're like, nope, not gonna do it, don't worry about it. That's why it's choose your own adventure. I always say that with my bar classes, but yoga too. There's lots of different options. Child's pose is always available to you if that's a comforting place to be. Even just a seated posture. So many of the postures that we do in yoga, you can just breathe through, meditate through. It's your time to move with your body, and I just want you to feel good in your body. But yay. Okay. So, Ryan's fooling around with the screen here so we can get this
Just making sure this is still looking good on YouTube. Looks good.
Yeah, looks good. Okay, I guess we should get started.
It's 5:05.
That's wonderful. 5:05, great time to start. So, we're gonna get this playlist started over again. And I'm gonna do this on my Apple Watch, why not?
Why not? Okay,
Yoga.
so I'll be in the other room, so the
You're
girls
gonna be in the other room? Yep,
So
the girls are in the other room. And let's get started. Also, I've got my sage diffuser, so I'm really getting the yoga studio vibe here. But let's get started. Okay. Coming to your mat, all the way down to the floor, all the way to your spine. And then just start to settle into the mat. You could place your left hand over your heart, right hand over your belly, and just start to settle into the space. Wherever you are today, just getting nice and comfy here. Start to notice your breath as you inhale through the nose. Feel an expansion in your chest, your rib cage, your belly. And as you exhale, belly falls, rib cage falls, chest falls. Inhale, chest, rib cage, belly, Exhale, belly, rib cage, chest. And just start to notice if you're holding on to any tension in the body. Relax the feet, let them just flop open to the side. We've all had different days today. Maybe we even live in different time zones. So the body feels different depending on maybe a sleep we had last night, if you've had water. So again, just being gentle with yourself. Just allowing the body to feel really heavy in this moment, melting into your mat. And then slowly start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingertips, bringing a little life back to the body. Circle through your wrists, circle through your ankles. If you've got any little cracks, that's okay as long as it doesn't hurt. And then circle the other direction. And slowly start to draw the soles of your feet down to your mat. And then heel toe your feet as wide as your mat. Coming into windshield wiper knees. Carry the knees up and over to one side. Just bringing a little mobility to the lower back and your hips. Carry the knees up and over, other side. I'm in close quarters here, so my knees might touch the wall and the door here, but that's okay. Again, if you need to make adjustments, if you need to move a chair out of the way, just take this time for you and make adjustments as you need. All the while still finding your breath here, filling up your body as you inhale and letting the body sink into the floor on your exhale. Slowly draw soles of the feet back down to your mat and hug your right knee in towards your chest. Left leg falls long. Option to interlace your fingers around your shin, or you can reach from behind your thigh. Just start to create circles with your knee one way, opening up in the hip, and circle the other direction. Slowly coming back to a center. Flex your right foot, reaching your foot up to the sky. Now you can interlace behind your hamstring on your right side, just avoiding grabbing behind your knee. Of course, if you like to reach for your calf muscle, you can do that as well, but make sure we're not lifting up and turning this into a core exercise. Keep the spine flat to the mat. Shoulders relaxed wherever your grip is on your leg. And then slowly draw right knee back in towards the chest. Spinal twist. Carry your right leg all the way over to your left side. Right arm opens up to a goalpost or cactus position. So you've got a 90-degree angle with the right arm. Your hips are guiding one way, shoulders reaching towards the mat. And just allow gravity to take over in this moment. Could you breathe into your rib cage on your right side? And slowly coming back through center. Other side, left knee draws in towards the chest. Hug the knee in, right leg falls along. Start to create circles with the D. And again, you can grip from behind your thigh or in front, interlacing your fingers. Switch directions. And then slowly flex your left foot, reaching your leg up to the sky. Think about breathing into your hamstring. Could you breathe into the back of your left thigh right now? And as you exhale, think about being nice and heavy in your hips. Take one more big, expansive breath into your left hamstrings. Exhale, let that go. Bend the knee, coming into a spinal twist. Carry your thigh all the way over, arm opens to goalpost. Allow your hips to be heavy one way, shoulder meets the mat in the other direction. Noticing your breath, are you still breathing deeply? And then slowly drawing back through center. This time, hug both knees in towards your chest. Let's start to swing forward, rolling through the spine. You can take a few rounds, rocking back and forth. And then coming up to a seated position. I'm gonna face you here. Cross-legged position. If you usually have one leg in front of the other, I'm gonna recommend you switch that out. Just by habit, we usually have one leg we prefer. See if you can just switch it out for balance. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's take a side bend. Hand comes down, reach up and out of your hips. Really breathing into your side body right there. Relax your shoulder away from your ear and anchor down through your opposite hip. So if you've got your right arm reaching, your right hip is going to be super heavy. And then coming back up. Other side, reach up and out of the hips. Think about growing longer on both sides of your body. And then again, opposite hip is anchoring you down here. Always remembering that each posture we go through today is your posture. So if you feel that in your body, your side bend looks more like this, I want you to go there. Never feel like because you see someone else's posture in a different body, that your body has to mimic that. As long as it's safe, like shoulder down, hip grounded, and if it feels good, then just stay there, breathe where you are. Inhale, exhale, coming back up to seated. This time, coming forward. I'm going to change back so you can see profile here. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, tabletop position. Spine is long here. Tuck the toes under, coming into a core activation. Press down for your fingertips, hover your knees, and engage in your center. Drawing abdominals in. Inhale deeply, exhale, and slowly draw your knees back down. Taking that again, press into the fingertips, push to lift, hover your knees. Option here to step to a plank. Take your toes out to a standard plank, high plank, shoulders right on top of your hands. Heels are long. Stepping back into your tabletop and knees come down. Finding child's pose. Untuck the toes. Toes come together, knees wide. Reach your fingertips long. Coming into child's pose. Take a few moments here, find your breath. Inhaling into your back. Think about being nice and heavy in your hips. And then slowly rolling up through your spine. Coming into downward dog. All 10 fingertips rooting into the ground. Tuck your toes this time, sits bones lift. Finding your downward dog. Option here, you can pedal out the feet. Your heels do not have to reach the mat. And I would encourage you again to find this as it feels best in your body. Maybe that means making adjustments. You can bend your knees slightly to reach your tailbone, your sits bones up to the sky. And again, we're continuously reaching the heels down, but you don't have to have the heels on the mat. Just send your energy of your heels into the floor. Draw your ribs in here, core in, making sure we're not extending through the spine and flipping tailbone up and splaying out in the ribs. See if you can keep this all knit together. Biceps by your ears. From here, we inhale, right leg lifts. Think about stamping your right foot to the wall behind you. Exhale, stepping forward. High lunge. Holding here. This is our first posture. Standing again since we started our class. Push down through all 4 corners of your front foot. Front knee is right on top of your heel. Think about your hips being nice and square. Draw ribs in, core is engaged. Shoulders are relaxed. And again, your arms can be up to the sky. And when I say ribs in, that is avoiding this opening up, splaying in the front. Sometimes when we back bend, we feel like we want to let everything go. But instead, I encourage you to keep ribs in, core engaged right here. And then slowly interlace your fingers behind your back. So even though we're lifting up the chest, again, we're not going to completely dump into the lower back. I want you to still keep some engagement here. Looking up, think sternum to the sky. And then exhale, release your fingertips. Interlace your fingertips, press them out in front of you. Bend your back knee slightly and round in the spine. Getting a gentle tuck of the chin. Little shoulder stretch. And then slowly coming back up to your high lunge. This time we're going to come into a flow. Option here is to just come down to plank and push to downward dog. Or hands come down, frame your front foot, step back to plank. And let's take the first round here just for cobra. Knees come down to the mat. Chin and chest, elbows bent. Inhale to cobra. That's thighs on the ground. Back bend, inhale. Exhale, tuck your toes. Coming into down dog. Again, you can pedal out the feet. And then here, other side. Inhale, left foot stamps to the wall behind you. Hips are square. Maybe you open the hips. And then draw knee in. Step left foot forward in between your hands. Inhale, sweep. High lunge. Side 2. Again, grounding through your front foot. Knee is right on top of your heel. Hips are square. Draw ribs in, core is engaged. Shoulders relaxed, they're stacked right on top of your hips. And then keeping your core engaged, we interlace, fingers behind the back. Gentle chest opener here, sternum to sky. So imagine there's a string right here lifting you up and out. Exhale, release. Interlace your fingers in front. Bend your back knee. Slight rounding in the spine. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, release. Find your flow again. Option for full chaturanga. Hands come down. And then lower your chest, bending your elbows close to the body. Inhale, flip your feet, hover your thighs, upward dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, maybe pedaling out your feet. We're gonna find that again, adding on this time. Inhale, right foot lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot steps forward, high lunge. This time, step your left foot forward to meet your right, and then bend both knees, send your hips back, chair pose. Feet are hip distance, spine is long. I want you to think about hips coming back behind you like you're about to sit in a chair. Your option here is to take hands to prayer. Draw your abs in. And then I like to add strength to my yoga classes. So we're gonna add a little pulse in the hips right here. Send your hips back, back, back. So this is gonna be building some strength in your legs, building strength in your glutes. And again, you can take that to the beat of the music or take it to your own speed. Just breathe, abs in. So abs are in. Where are you breathing? Could you breathe into your back body? Could you breathe into your rib cage? Just 5 pulses. 4, 3, 2. Hold it low. From here, you're going to push down through your right foot. Peel your left heel. Maybe lift all the way up to a tabletop position for the knee. You're finding your balance. This is our first taste of a standing balancing posture. From here, option, spinal twist. Opposite hand to the outer thigh. So this is my right hand, left thigh. Again, if you're mirroring, no worries. And then slice the air with your other hand. Know that you can always take toes down. This is a great place to be as well. Think about growing taller from the top of your head as you rotate. One more big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, coming back through center. Finding your high lunge. Find your flow. Hands come down. And again, you can take this full chaturanga or knees, chin, and chest to cobra. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Or you can come back just through plank and then find your down dog. Inhale, left foot lifts up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, step through. High lunge. Hips are square. Right here, we step back foot into the front foot. Feet are hip distance. Chair pose. Hips go back. Hands can come to prayer, or you can keep your hands lifted. Draw your abs in. Here we go. You find that little pulse in the hips. So we could just hold a static chair pose, but I want you to test yourself. Feel grounded through both feet. You might start to feel this in your glutes and your thighs with this little 1-inch movement. Keep breathing. Maybe even close your eyes. Just 9 more. 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, hold where you are. Option to peel your heel. Maybe you lift up to your tabletop, or toes can come down. From here, opposite hand reaches for your outer thigh. Slice the air with your other arm. Spine is long here. Know that you can take your toes back down at any moment. Or if you're enjoying this balance challenge, keep growing taller from the top of your head. Maybe gazing out over your fingertips. Take one more big breath here. Inhale. Exhale back through center. Step back to your high lunge. Let's find that flow one more time. Hands come down. And again, take whichever flow feels best for you. Inhale on your upward dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. And then from here, lift your heels, bend your knees, lightly hop or step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lifting back up, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, palms come to your heart center. Feel the connection of your feet to the floor. A soft bend in your knees. Shoulders are relaxed. From here, take a deep breath and sweep your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, palms come together, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms come to your shins. Lengthen the back of your neck, lengthen your spine. Exhale, find your plank. Hands under shoulders, step to plank. And then slowly from here, we draw knees down to a tabletop position. Remembering our tabletop from our little core activation. I'm going to back this up so I've got room. Keeping your hips square. From here, we reach opposite arm to leg. Left toes reach out, right arm reaches overhead. Inhale to lift, arm and leg. Arm and down. Arm comes down, toes come down. You can take it to the beat, but keep it still slow. 2 counts. And down. All the while keeping your hips square. Lift for 2 maybe. Down for 2. Lift. And down. This is activating in the core. Maybe you're also getting a little glutes in the back leg. Know that you can modify this, taking your hands down to forearms. Really pressing into the forearms here. Just 5, 4, 3, 2. Last round here. Right here, we tap the toes under. Hover your right knee and hold. Then step it back. Find your plank. Other foot comes back. Finding your other side. Left shin into the mat or whatever side you're on. Left arm reaches, right toe reach. Here we go. You lift. Up for 2. Down for 2. Reach. And down. I want you to think about growing taller, lengthening the back of your neck. I want you to imagine that there's a string pulling you, and that string is wrapped around your pinky and your big toe, and you're reaching long. Pinky finger, that is. I want you to reach from both ends. Just 5, 4, 3. Are you still breathing? 2. This time, take the toes back down. We press into the fingertips, hover your left knee. Step back to plank. Hold. And release, down dog. Sits bones up to the sky. Again, you can pedal through your feet. Finding your breath here. Could you breathe into your back body? And then slowly coming into our next progression. Inhale, right foot lifts up. Exhale, step right foot through. High lunge again. Now you know where we are. Hips square, shoulders on top of hips. From here, ooh, I'm sweating. Let's drop the back heel, warrior two. Hold here. So you've got front toes facing the top of your mat. Your back foot can be in line with your mat, or scooch the heel back just a little bit. This front leg, we want to keep it bent. We don't want the knee too far in front of the toes, and we don't want it too far back. You want knee on top of heel, and press your right thigh back. Here we are, reach your arms long. Ribs are in, core is in. And just take a few breaths here. I know for me, my distractions that come up, especially if I'm sweating like I am right now, I start to think about the sweat. And that's natural. If your sweat's going in your eyes like me, that's okay. Just focus on the sensations you're feeling. Feel your feet into the ground. Maybe notice your breath as you inhale, feeling that expansion in the body, and then exhale, see if you can feel a little more grounded. From here, flip your front palm, inhale, reverse warrior. Now this backhand is nice and light on the back leg, a feather-like touch, or sometimes people like to take hand behind the lower back, bending at the elbow. Could you breathe into your rib cage right here? Shoulders relaxed out from your ear. Keeping that front knee bent, or sometimes people like to extend. You can take that option too. From here, one more big breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale, coming back up to warrior two. Now extend through the front leg. Coming into triangle pose. I want you to think about reaching your hip back and arm forward as you start to lean. Now, if you do have blocks, sometimes this is where we like to take a block right in front of the leg, and you can have your fingertips on a block. Or if your hand reaches your calf muscle, you can use that as a little anchor point. And again, if that's not accessible today, so many options. You can take your hand here to your thigh. And remembering that every option is available to you if you ever want to take a moment just to find your breath. Standing tall. This is your time. You and your body. Take this time for you. Think about lifting up both sides of your body. If you're here in triangle, we don't want to cave into that side. We want to stay lifted. And you're long in the body. One more big breath. Exhale, start to lift back up. Find your warrior two. And then extend back up. This time, facing the long side of your mat. Both toes at about 10 and 2, coming into goddess pose. Hands can come to prayer. We press the thighs open. If you're a dancer like me, you might say, hey, this is grand plie in second for ballet. That's great, same deal. We've got to turn out in the toes, so it's externally rotated. Both hips are still facing forward. Shoulders right on top of your hips. Draw your abs in. Hands can come to prayer. And then I told you that I like to add strength to my yoga classes. So from here, we're gonna add a little pulse in the hips, just down. Keeping your knees tracking out over your second toes. Now, where should you be feeling this in the body? You're gonna feel it in your thighs, in your glutes. The more you can press thighs back. Just pulse. Maybe close your eyes. Again, notice what you're feeling in the body. Just 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 3, 2, hold it low. Option to find a little balance, peel your heels. Maybe arms open to cactus or goalpost. Maybe you sink your hips just a little lower. Take one more big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, heels come down, toes back, forward. Let's take a wide forward fold. Hinge at your hips. Spine is long. And then from here, from this flat back fold over, maybe you allow the body to fall forward. You could grab opposite elbows. You could take fingertips in line with your toes. Maybe shift your weight, one hip versus the other. And then slowly, fingertips come back to your hips. Soft bend in the knees as we come back up. Take it slowly. And then we take toes back, high lunge. Find your flow. Hands come down, frame your foot, stepping back. Find your plank. And again, you can find your full flow or any variation you like. Maybe that's finding down dog right away. Meeting in down dog. When you're ready, side 2. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, left foot steps forward. High lunge. Push down through your front foot to lift. Now I'm just going to change directions so that I can face you. But you've got left foot in front. And then we drop back, heel. And then I want you to think about this alignment. Your front heel is in line with the arch of your back foot. The back foot's in line with the mat, or you could take the heel just a little smidge back. Knee is bent here, remembering knees on top of heel, not too far, not too shallow. Right on top of heel. Hips are open, arms long. You're gazing out over your front hand. Think about looking over your middle finger. Noticing this front knee, we don't want it to cave in. You gotta keep rotating here. Keep pressing the thigh open. Take one more big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, we flip the front palm. Push down through your front foot to lift. Reverse warrior. And again, fingertips are so light here, or hand comes behind the back. Breathing into your side body. And notice if this shoulder's lifted. See if you could anchor it back down. Really pushing down through your front foot. Know that you can extend through the leg if that feels better. Sometimes we get a lot of engagement in the front leg, which is good. That's strength building. But again, if it doesn't feel good, just push and extend. One more big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, coming back up through warrior 2. And then extend through your front leg. We lean forward towards the front leg, triangle pose. Back of the hand comes to your calf muscle or to your thigh. Just make sure we're not pushing into the knee. Want to keep this hand away from the knee joint. Other arm is reaching up to the sky. And know that we don't want to collapse in this side. Think of this like a side plank. You're looking up to your top hand. You're really anchored down through your feet. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, lifting back up. Warrior 2. Then push both toes forward, coming into your goddess pose. Toes at 10 and 2 on an imaginary clock. We sink the hips down. Hands can come right here to prayer in front of your chest. Let's find that little pulse in the hips. Again, strength building here. Your weight is even between both feet. We're not leaning into one over the other. We're keeping this nice and balanced. Every time you come back up out of this little 1-inch movement, I want you to imagine that you had so much strength down through your feet, and when you lifted up that 1 inch, as if you were gonna hop the legs together. You're definitely not gonna do that. I want you to feel like your feet are stuck, as if you wanted to come up, but you're frozen on the mat, glued to the mat. Super strong magnets are holding you there. You've got it, almost there. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it low. Same thing here, peel your heels, arms can open. Maybe arms open wide to a V. Maybe you sink your hips down, press your thighs open, big breath, inhale. Exhale, heels come down. Both toes forward now, coming into that wide forward fold. Option. Interlace your fingers behind the back. When we hinge at the hips, take it forward. And then option to let this down. You can keep a bend in your elbows. Could you breathe into your back of your legs? And slowly release the arms if you have them interlaced. Soft bend in your knees. Fingertips come to your hip crease. Come back to your flat back. And then lifting all the way back up. Back to your high lunge at the top of the mat. Other way for me. I'm coming into high lunge. And then find your flow. Hands come down. Bring your foot. And again, the option here, full chaturanga with the push-up, or knees, chin, and chest, or just find us in downward dog. All 10 fingertips into the mat. Hips are lifted. Maybe pedaling your feet. And then slowly knees come down to the mat. Coming into a core exercise. We're coming into a core posture. Forearms are coming down to the mat. Like a little kickstand. And then soles of your feet are down to the mat. Gentle tuck of the chin right here. We lift the knees to tabletop. From here, one toe at a time reaches down and lift. Other toes reach down and lift. Now right away, if this little kickstand is not feeling good, you can take this all the way spine down to the mat. It's all up to you. Listen to your body. Engaging your core here. I want you to think about ribs in and then everything hugging in center. Keep moving here. I want you to think about your core as 360 core. So not just in front, but everything wrapping around, hugging everything in and engaging from all directions. So whether you've got those little kickstand arms or you are flat spine to the mat, taking one toe at a time. If you are here with the forearms down, think shoulders on top of elbows. And that gentle tuck of the chin so that our head doesn't sink back. more here, you've got it. The next time you find both toes in tabletop, reflex the feet. Push your feet out just an inch and a hold. Push 1 more inch, hold. Right here, push, push, push the feet. And release. Take this down to the floor. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe rocking side to side. And then slowly rocking all the way back up. Rocking forward or swing the legs around. Downward dog. Pressing fingertips into your mat. Tuck your toes, sits bones lift. On your inhale, peel your heels. Bend your knees. Lightly hop or step. Feet towards your hands. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Coming into a standing balancing sequence. This is sort of the peak posture for our class today. So coming into feet hip distance, and then we practiced this already, but I want you to take a soft bend in your knees. With hips level, find your tabletop position. So you're lifting one knee up. Notice here when we lift the knee, temptation is to move back. Still keep your shoulders on top of your hips. You can relax your foot and arms reaching up. Right here, option. You can take tree pose. Sole of the foot to your calf muscle. Let me show you that here. If tree pose is where you want to be, stay right here. You could also take toes down, or you can take your foot into the inner thigh. Now, if you have slippery pants like me, your foot might slide. I'm currently wearing New Luxe fabric, if anyone wants to know, but it's a little slippery. So you're pushing your foot into your inner thigh, just avoiding pushing into the knee. So finding your tree pose, this is your first option that you might want to stay here the whole time. Standing balancing, find your balance. And just find your stillness here. It's going to help us with where we go next. Breathing here, think shoulders on top of hips. And again, know that you can always take your foot back down or toes back down. And if you need to shake out this leg, you can do that too. So where you are, finding your tree pose, take one more big breath here. And then if you're moving on, take the knee back to your tabletop. We're coming into a warrior 3. Start to guide your toes back. Start to hinge at your hips. Take a soft bend in this supporting leg. We feed the toes back, start to lean. Now you might want to stay here the whole time. Maybe this is where you're working from. We've got to keep turning this hip down so that we don't open the hips. This is square. Maybe you've got your arms long, maybe they're flying out or back, whatever feels good. And notice here, if you are to flex your back foot, your toes would be facing down, not to the side. So toes are down, we're reaching forward, maybe you start to come parallel to the floor. Torso parallel to the floor. Keep the back of your neck long, abs in. One more big breath, inhale. Exhale, coming back up through your tabletop. And then step it back down. Let's shake out the legs. Take a moment here, maybe. Release the arms, find a little spinal twist. Side 2, here we go. Feet are hip distance, send your weight into one leg. Other foot. So if you had your left foot lifted, you're going to come right foot into tree pose. If you want to try first that tabletop position, come here, and then you take thigh open, foot to your calf, or maybe you reach for your foot. You place the sole of your foot on your inner thigh. Arms can come to an open V, or if you feel better, hands to prayer if that helps you to feel more centered. I want you to stay wherever you feel strong. Remember to avoid pushing your foot into your knee. And again, maybe if you're looking for a balanced challenge, what would happen if you closed your eyes? Do you start to sway in the wind like a tree in the wind? See if what happens when you take away that one sense of sight. What happens to the rest of the body? Just notice, no judgment. Inhale deeply. Option here. Knee comes back to your tabletop. Find your warrior three. And again, if you want to take tree pose the whole time, stay there, stay strong. Maybe your tree pose looks just like this. It is still a challenge to balance with your eyes closed on one foot. It really is, I promise. So find the challenge that feels right for you today. Here we go. If you are in your warrior three, I want you to flex your foot and make sure your toes are pointing towards the ground. And notice here, stay in your posture, but notice if your ribs are popping open, knit the ribs back in, core is engaged, back of the neck is long. Imagine you had a beam of light coming out the top of your head and it was reaching, reaching, reaching. And again, your warrior three, maybe it's parallel to the floor, maybe it's on an angle. Just go what feels good. Take one more big breath here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, coming back up through your tabletop. Hips are level. Leg is lifted. Take one more big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, release. We're going to take a deep breath and then come down to the floor. Big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Option to grab opposite elbows, maybe rocking side to side. And then slowly release your arms as gently as you can, coming down to the floor. You can step one leg at a time. I'm going to face the side here. Coming into cat-cows. Hands under shoulders, tabletop, knees under hips. And then as you inhale, start to lift chin and chest, tailbone lifts. Exhale, draw belly button in, rounding in your spine. Inhale, chin and chest lift. Exhale, rounding in your spine. Really thinking of articulating in the spine. If your spine was a string of pearls, could you move one pearl at a time? Noticing your breath here. Slowly finding your tabletop. Step your right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. You can tuck the toes to the back or allow the top of the foot to be into the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms high. Breathing into your hip flexor right here at the hip crease. Breathe big. Exhale, fingertips come down. Untuck the toes if they were tucked. Flex your right foot or your front foot. Hamstring stretch. Release your head and neck. Releasing any muscles of your face. And slowly coming back forward. This time, tuck the toes and lifting up to a pyramid pose. Toes come to a 45-degree angle at the back. You can really walk your foot in. Toes here at the front. Fingertips just frame your front foot. Release your head and neck. Think about sending your right hip back, left hip forward. And then slowly coming back down. Drop down to your knee. Other side. Step your left foot forward. Coming into your low lunge. Again, you can tuck the back toes or not. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fingertips frame your front foot. Send your hips back. Flex your front foot. And slowly send your weight back. Tuck your toes, extend your back leg. Coming into pyramid pose. Walk your right toes back in, or your back foot back in. Toes come to a 45-degree angle. Then I want you to think front hip reaches back. Back hip rotates, reaches forward. Could you breathe into your back body? And again, if this is too intense of a stretch, know that you can always come up. You can always take a slight bend in the knee. And then slowly reach your toes back, extending in the leg. Drop down to your back knee. Step back. Coming into child's pose. Knees wide, toes touch, send your hips back. Slowly, maybe shifting your hips side to side. Take a moment here. Slowly start to roll up through your spine. Your option here for your final resting posture, you can take a seated position, or you can come all the way down to your spine. So seated, one leg over the other, hands to your thighs, or if you're comfortable on your back, just where we started our class today, come all the way down. Allow the legs to flop open to the side. You can allow your palms to rest by your side, or maybe you take hand over heart, hand over belly. And maybe start to close your eyes. And just start to come back to that feeling we had at the start of class. Slowing down, a moment of stillness. So many times in life we're thinking about 10 different things at once. So see if you can take this moment to try and laser focus in just your inhale and your exhale. If it helps you to think of something as you inhale, you could breathe in the thought, I am here. As you exhale, you can think or say to yourself, here, right now. So it goes, inhale, I am here. Exhale, here, right now. Again, just if you are feeling you need a thought or a saying to say to yourself, I am here right now. Notice if you're holding on to any tension in the body. Would you release the muscles of your face? Release the muscles of your legs, your glutes. Really trusting that the mat and gravity have your back. You don't need to hold on to anything. Taking these last few moments, I'll go radio silent. And just take these last few moments for you. And then slowly start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingertips. Gently start to circle through your wrists, circle through your ankles, one direction, and then switch to the other direction. And slowly and gently draw the soles of your feet back down to your mat, inviting in that windshield wiper. You can walk your feet wide and start to carry the knees over one way, over to the other. And then gently rock over to one side. When you're ready, you can press into the floor, finding a seated posture. Having a cross-legged position here, feeling your sits bones rooting you into the ground. Maybe bringing your hands to heart center. And we take this moment to acknowledge that we have taken the practice of yoga from ancient Indian tradition, taking a moment of gratitude for this practice, for the teachers who have come before us, and take a moment to thank yourself for bringing yourself to your mat today. Take one more big breath. As a group here, I know we're apart, but take a big breath as if we were all in the same room. Inhale deeply. exhale, let that go. If your eyes were closed, gently open them. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jess, as you know, but if this is your first time taking a class with me, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you're here. Let me know in the chat if you were here till the end. And of course, I hope to do this again. Let me know. Give me your feedback. I'd love to know your interest level on this. And of course, I do have an in-studio practice where I teach bar. But for yoga, right now I'm currently right here on my mat here at home. So I would love to keep practicing with you. And thank you so much. I hope to connect with you soon. Thank you. Thanks, friends. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so sweaty. Hope everybody's feeling good. Let me know in the chat if you're still here. This isn't like TikTok where it's immediate that I get to see everybody's names pop up that you're here. So that's okay by me. And if you weren't able to join today and you're watching this on replay, I'm really hoping we can get that set up, that you'll be able to see it replayed. So, yay. All right. Now I'm gonna have to go find Ryan to help me close this down because I don't actually know. So good, thank you so much. Thank you, love the class, I hope so too. Oh my gosh, thank you. Hi Ryan.
Hi.
I don't know how to close it to be able to save this for anyone watching, so sweaty. Oh my gosh, I know, I chose to do this on the hottest day. Like, it is so incredibly hot today, so I was dripping sweat. We also kept the air conditioning a little lower so it wouldn't be too loud. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling good. Woo, I hope you're feeling good too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, friends. Ryan,
Okay.
work your magic. Let us
Okay.
know how to turn this off.
I'm gonna end it over here.
Okay, thanks, friends. Bye.